Ford tests some autonomous vehicles in Ann Arbor, where adverse weather conditions play a role. Photo, The Detroit News, by photo. It's one thing for a self-driving car to navigate the sunny freeways around Phoenix. It's another thing entirely to survive the streets of Manhattan or Detroit, much less in a snowstorm. That's why industry experts are watching where carmakers, automotive suppliers, and technology companies decide to launch autonomous car fleets. They say companies that successfully roll out robotic cars in congested cities prone to extreme weather will send a strong signal as to who's leading and who's playing catch-up in developing the cars of the future. What I'll be looking for to see when they start to launch these things commercially is how many cities are they operating in, and where those cities are, says Sam Abul-Zamid, a Michigan-based automotive analyst with Navigant Research. Where will they start to deploy? How many vehicles? Are they working reliably? What really matters is not so much the raw miles driven, but rather where have the miles been accumulated. Ford Motor Co. has test vehicles in Ann Arbor, Dearborn, and Pittsburgh, 3 cities with varying degrees of pedestrians, bicyclists, and cars, and challenging winter weather. General Motors Co. tests in urban San Francisco, Phoenix, and Warren, cities with a range of street-level situations, and in one case, bad weather. With market leaders using different benchmarks internally to measure autonomous vehicle success, it makes it hard for consumers and investors to pick a leader in the short term. What matters most, the number of miles driven, in which case, Google's Waymo is ahead of the pack, or the conditions under which the cars drive. Anyone calling it, they don't really know, because it's really hard to know, said Michael Ramsey, who follows trends for connected and autonomous cars for the Connecticut-based Gartner research firm. How would you go about comparing the capabilities of these vehicles side by side? It's not even possible. It's really kind of a situation where the only way we can grade the capacity of a company is how soon are they going to put a product on the road that they think they're not going to get sued for. French automaker PSA Group earlier this year announced it would partner with Nutonomy, a Massachusetts startup owned by Delphi spin-off Aptiv, to test self-driving Peugeots in tropical Singapore, one of the most congested cities in the world. Meanwhile, Waymo, the Google spin-off that boasts of having driven the most test miles, only recently announced it would test self-driving vehicles in Novi. Until now, Waymo has spent most of its time testing in the relatively unchallenging weather of suburban California, Arizona, and Austin, Texas. Those test locations matter. Some automakers are less than 3 years away from planned delivery dates for their first-generation autonomous vehicles. GM plans to have a fleet of self-driving vehicles for public use by 2019. Ford officials say its autonomous vehicles will be road-ready by 2021. Waymo recently moved drivers from behind the steering wheel as a clear signal that its Chrysler Pacifica test vehicles are piloted by robots.